25 days. 25 days I've done this. I'm feeling pretty good about that. That's pretty great. Um I'm looking a little bit more musketeery every day. I gotta I keep forgetting to shave. But yeah, I still keep it on track. I had a really good week. 7 days straight of 1500 calories or less. That's pretty good, right? I'm down about, I think, 7 pounds maybe. I mean, I know your weight fluctuates a bunch, and it is what it is. But I'm down to 175.2 as of this moment, which honestly, I mean, I don't feel super good about that because that's like a pretty high number compared to like where I've been my whole life. But it's still down from my peak here. So um, I'm getting to that point in it where I'm getting to that like moral licensing point where it's like I've done so well. Maybe I can just have a cookie. I can just do this. I can just do that. I can have a day off. Um, and that's getting harder. So I'm sure I'll figure that out. But I guess you'll know because I'll have a red square. So I haven't had a red square in probably today's day 25 and almost 12 days, 11 days straight without a red square, without breaking one of my habits. So I think I'm getting close to that point where I'm gonna break one because it's just I haven't done it in a while, and it's not on top of my mind. So we'll see if it happens. Like food's the hardest one because it's not one decision. Like this is one decision. Doing this for like whatever amount of time, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes is one decision. But doing your weight is really hard because you're making decisions 24/7, and your body is like manipulating your brain while you're making those decisions. It's like telling you you're hungry, telling you you're full, telling you that you need more, telling you like and it's your amphibian brain. It's your like old school brain that's like taking the wheel often. And whatever. I'm gonna take the win, take the W, move on. This is day 8. I'm doing a little bit worse today. I had half a donut, and but I'm pretty full right now. It's 3. It's 3 o'clock. So I could probably make it where I can only have a little bit of dinner, so that'll be good. But I think overall, doing pretty well. I'm feeling better today. I still got a weird cough that I'm trying to get rid of, but I I kind of made some progress. I'll show you this real quick. It's really dumb, but I finally got these stupid polygons to work. Finally, after this took me 4 days to do this. I don't know why this is so hard, but it's been hard. And it's when it comes down to it, I was making assumptions. What was good and bad code? What was good and bad data? What is good and bad things to load in? And that's how it comes down to it sometimes. So, but it does feel like a load off my shoulders that I have actually something that is actually like different than everything. Because I just had crashing. I was just crashing. Everything was crashing for like 3 or 4 days straight. Nothing was working. I would I would spend like half an hour and make no progress. I would spend an hour and make no progress. It was such a weird feeling to like be stuck in that like weird limbo purgatory thing. Um, that it gets frustrating, and like I've been saying for the last few days, it's like it's so easy to be ready to talk about the failures when they're no longer failures, and your brain doesn't let you talk about the failures while you're failing. Like it doesn't make any sense to discuss your failures because you're still not understanding why it's failing. You're still like in the middle of it. You have nothing to talk about because you're just like your brain's a big question mark. Like, am I good enough? Is this going to be okay? Uh, how is this going to ever be better? How can I make this better? And you get stuck. You get stuck in these like I get stuck in like recursive circle patterns. I know my daughter gets stuck in these patterns too when she's being negative about herself, and she's 2. It's you get stuck in these like circular patterns of like I'm not good enough, I'm not doing good enough, I'm not trying hard enough. It's something wrong with me, and you can't let them go until you make a breakthrough, and that sucks because like it's really hard to break through those moments. It's really hard to it's really hard to like log back into your computer and try again and try a new way and try this and try that. And I don't know how to think about that, because literally for the last 3 or 4 days I've been on this, talking to you and saying I'm stuck and feeling very stuck. And I mean, the difference between me having a breakthrough and me not having a breakthrough in this project is like a couple lines of code. It's like one assumption, literally one assumption that I made out of the probably like 30 I've made, like, of what is what. And, I was ready to take a break today again because I was really stuck again. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to try one last thing, one more thing. I got 10 more minutes. I'll just do this really quick. And it worked in the 10 minutes. And now I have a good day, right? Because we all use the scoreboard of our lives based on what we accomplished or what we can point to. That's why losing weight's so hard, because you can't really point to anything all day. Like, it's like you can count calories, I guess. I mean, you can watch the scale, but like your weight's going to fluctuate anyways, and you can get real disappointed about that. But I don't know. I think I keep going back to this habit idea, this habit tracking thing, this like weird live blog thing that I'm doing where I'm just kind of telling you my inner thoughts every day. I feel like it's helping me. It's helping me in so many ways to get my brain out there, to not like stew about things, to not take things too seriously. It's the thing I've picked up on the most in the last few days. I'm sure in 5 days I'll say this is the actual thing I learned. But the thing I've actually learned today is, watching or not. I don't watch these very often, but like knowing I said it yesterday or 2 days ago, knowing I said or had a thought or felt something because I had to like record it, something a few days ago, like watching it like every day evolve. And so it's like for one day I'm frustrated. For day 2, I'm more frustrated. Day 3, I'm overflowing with frustration. Day 4, I'm like, oh God, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then day 5, I'm stress relieved, happy, and complacent, and all because my extra 10 minutes worked out. I would have got on here and said, I'm so frustrated still. This is so bad. I think I had better motivation today because I felt like I had to figure it out. Like it was too dumb of a problem, like it wasn't, I'm not like building a rocket ship here. Like it's pretty dumb. I thought I could figure it out. So eventually you figure it out and you just try a different way. And, I'm just saying it's kind of funny how I'm noticing how my brain works, which is like it just tries to beat the crap out of me when I don't have something to point at and shove in its face that like I am good, like it's really trying to just beat me over the head that I'm bad. That if I can't show it my gold star today, if my gold star is from yesterday, or let alone a week ago, oh my God, then I can't. It's really hard to shut it off. To say I am good enough. This is okay. I'll figure this out. Like I'm happy. Like I'm growing. I'm trying. Like this is good. Good. Just saying this is good is really hard when you don't have that gold star to show off. The one I just showed you. That's my gold star today. And I think it's hard because that mentality gets you pretty far in life. Like you achieve a lot of things, like you can finish college, school, you can have a really good job. Like if you need that gold star to feel good about yourself, like you can be a pretty productive human. And I think that's once again why our brains do it automatically, is they create this like gold star mentality that if you don't have that gold star, like you're nothing, and then you crave it and it bothers you and you can't handle it. And it's like, and it eats at you. And then the problem is when you have, so many days in a row like that, and you can't turn down the volume of that voice begging for the gold star or harassing you for it, that's when you start to like lose control, I would say. But it's hard, right? I mean, I guess I always say this, like I've built my tool belt over years of therapy to like say, I'm feeling overwhelmed by this voice in my head that's telling me I'm not good enough. What should I do? And sometimes it's, go for a walk. Sometimes it's work out. Sometimes it's, what we're doing is we're looking for a tiny gold star to shove in its face and say like, well, I can do something. Like you don't know everything. You're not smarter than me. You don't actually predict the future. You just pretend the future sucks all the time. Um, and once again, I can only talk about this because I have one today. It's so hard when you don't have one. It's you just feel hopeless, useless. Uh, and it's just like I said yesterday, the 99th problem is like so real. If you don't have an idea of how to solve that 99th problem, you, you just kind of like get into this, like I get into like this circular like thinking, and it's just not, it doesn't make anybody better. And but I can't sit here and say like stop doing it, right? It's not something I do. It's something I try to avoid constantly. It's something I'm permanently trying to avoid. But it's the thing that gets me out of bed, and it's the only thing that like gets me to like try anything, to do anything today, is to like go get that gold star, to feel good about myself and keep moving. And that's why I like these video games and everything, that they like gamify that. I think it's like smart. It's super super smart, but like also kind of scary, like to gamify everything about your life. I mean, I think it's going to make us way more productive humans, but I think it's scary because I think the meaningfulness of it deteriorates over time, and it's not easy to just hold on to meaningfulness when it's not real. When it's not. I mean, it's not something you believe in. I think everything you start, you believe in for a while, and then you lose track of it, and you stop believing eventually. Um, or you believe a lot less, or the analogy is always like it takes more to fill up the cup kind of thing, with your beliefs. And I mean everything, not just religion, but um, but now that I got my gold star, I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna like I did it. I did, I renewed my motivation, and um, God, but what do I wish the most right now? I wish I could just have Brian 3 days ago, 2 days ago, yesterday, watch this video and say, just try another, like for another 20 minutes right now. Try for another 30 minutes right now. You are 30 minutes away from this feeling, you know? That's what I need to tell myself when I'm in those moments. You are 30 minutes away from that feeling, Like just push through it, man. Just, it's okay, Obviously the thing you want to do is going to change, and how you're going to do it's going to change, but you're probably only 30 minutes or an hour away from getting to that feeling, or more, whatever. You're only a day away, whatever it is. The thing that you are afraid you'll never do, you're probably like a day or two away from it, because we don't set goals that big on a day-to-day basis. I don't know. I don't know if like the great people of the world do set like these really like long lifetime goals, and they don't get sad on the way there, because it's so hard to achieve them. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not one of them yet, but I I I really, I guess I got to think that more thoroughly. Like, how do I remind myself I'm only a day or an hour of hard work away from achieving the thing that I'm so scared I'll never achieve? Because when I'm not achieving it, that threat is so real, so real. My co-founder is not going to want to be my partner anymore. He's going to know I'm a fake, I'm a failure. He's going to know I'm an imposter. No one's ever going to want to work with me ever again. Uh, you know, I, I've been lying to everybody my whole life, or something. Like, it's like crazy, the breadth of the worry, it just gets so out of hand so quickly. And if somebody was telling you that, you would be laughing at them. You'd be like, you're insane. There's no way any of that's true. And that, like, but when your brain's telling it to yourself, you can't, it's so involuntary, and it eats away at you because it never shuts up. It never like throws a cookie your way. It never like just like says like, you know what, you're doing great. Like in those moments, like it's just ready to like just pound you into the ground. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's something I can program in there to do that. I mean, I feel like I have to program the opposite. I have to program reflection points where I stop and go, is this really true? At 1% true? Like, is this true at all? Like, because I feel like that's the thing that therapy does and like helps you, is like how do you like inject moments in time? They call it noticing. How do you notice things like to make you more grounded and less in your own head about stuff? But I feel like the next evolution would be like, how do I program my unconscious voice in my head to throw some positivity my way? Like when I'm down, it's easy to throw it when I got my gold star today. He's throwing a bunch of positivity to my for the next hour, and then he'll go back to being negative again. But I get like an hour of freedom from him after I achieve my one goal for the day or the week. I get an hour of freedom. That's so crazy. It's like prison. No, I maybe I got to think about that. If there's a way to have a purposeful moment in which I've been working on something for. I mean, I do this a little bit, so maybe I'm trying to like really grasp at like how to make this that much better. But having moments where you're like, because I've been saying this to myself, like, let it be. I'm stuck. Let it be. I think that's helpful. I wish it was positive and not passive. I wish it was positive and not like it'll be okay kind of thing. Like I wish it was more like you're great. Like you're great. Like not it's okay. Like it just you're great in those moments. You're great. I don't want to say because or only if or just keep trying. I feel like you already know the just keep trying part. Like cuz what will unlock your dreams is to keep trying. Right? Like at some level we all know that, but I think it's less about the I feel like giving up is less about knowing you're right and more about being worn down by the voice in your head, having just gone through it. I don't know if that's like a novel idea or if that even makes any sense, but like I feel like that's what I've went through. It's like on some level I knew I would figure this out, or I wouldn't have even tried to start. Like at some level, like I made the conscious decision that like this is within my reach. And I'm not saying like I decided I'm going to play professional baseball today. Like it's like a very like archaic, stupid first draft of something. I can do a first draft of something. I have AI to tell me how to do 99% of it. Like I have all these tools. I have all these people. I have lots of things I can use to get anything done, anything on the web. Like anything. Everyone's here to help me. Of course, I can figure it out. But I think I get worn down by the voice in my head more than the actual belief that I can't do it. Like the belief didn't change that I couldn't do it. The thing that wore me down was myself, like pushing me down, like it just every time I felt down about myself, it would just like shove my head in further, I got to think about that because it's just so mean, it's just so awful. I hate that it does that. I mean, I keep saying I know it's there to help us survive. I know it's there to like help us not get killed and eaten or eat bad food or whatever. I know it's like there on purpose to like keep us alive. It's just so evil though, especially nowadays. Like I'm not gonna accidentally eat a poisonous apple. Like I don't need to know that kind of stuff as much as I used to. I know there's like a don't be a sociopath and get excommunicated by society like thing I should probably not do. I know there's a whole like don't do crimes and get like put in jail that I shouldn't do, but like if my brain needs to remind me not to do that all the time, like okay, that's a bigger problem than that. But like it's just so mean. When I'm down, it's meaner. I mean, it's always a little like trickling. Like I think of it like the water on the stone. You know what I mean? Like over, like it's just a little drop, but like over like forever time, like years and years and years, it just like eats away at you. Like a stone. But yeah, I maybe I can schedule that habit. Maybe that's a whole nother like level of this that I haven't even tried thinking about yet. Where it's like, because I thought about doing this. I thought about making this into a decision matrix, where it's like, if this happens to you, then do that. If this happens to you, then do that. If you're having this feeling, then do this. And it'll be like customizable to you. What helps you do what, but like, because then the habit isn't do your habits. It's follow your decision matrix. Like how many days in a row did I follow my decision matrix? Meaning, or my decision tree, I should say, or your decision tree of like, I'm feeling this way. I should go do that to resolve that feeling I'm having, And life's always a balance. I know there's like never like a one solution for everything, but like it's more of like reminding you when you're in those like failing, frustrated times in which your brain is kicking you down that this has happened before. And I made a guide of how to deal with it. It's like it's more like the solution exists to your problem because it happens every day or it happens every week. And but the problem is you don't remember that far back. I don't remember what I was so frustrated about last week. Other than this, like I like the week before that, I have no idea what if I watch the tape about day 13, I have no idea how I was feeling that day. No idea. This is day 25. I have no idea. Day 3, day 5. I have no idea how I was feeling those days. I'd have to watch it and probably like 20 minutes in or like whatever, 5 minutes in, I'd be like, oh, okay, I remember I said that. I felt that way, like whatever. But the fact that I don't actively know in my working memory or my long-term memory where I was in the world during these last days, like mentally is like so crazy. It's just reminding me how important these reflection moments are because I just feel like I need to put something down that is real because it's just our brains are just like fluttering around in space. It feels like we're just like making these like decisions left and right, and like the decision of how I feel every day. It just feels like it's like a random number generator. Like it's just so random compared to my actions. I feel good today, and my actions did not change very much from yesterday. Yesterday they felt bad because I couldn't figure this out, and today I figured it out, and now I feel good, and now I can talk about it. Now I can be all happy. Nothing changed other than I put the same amount of time in, and something different happened. Like I, I just feel like there's something there that I need to be reminded how, especially when I'm frustrated. Like maybe the rule would be like after after feeling down, I would say like after working on something for like 4 or 5 hours and leaving it and feeling like I'm stuck. I wouldn't say more stuck because I felt more stuck because it was an excessively bad one this time. But I feel stuck still. I don't feel like I know what to do. I don't know what to Google next. I don't know what to do next. Maybe that's when I hit some sort of button and I go some sort of like easy button or panic button or something where I go, I should probably watch day 24 right now. That's what I do. That's my decision tree is you need to take 20 minutes and be reminded what the world's about to be like. So you just let go of that voice in your head that's really just trying to just beat the crap out of you, about how you're stuck and you don't know what to do and you're a failure. I don't know if it's watching a video of me or something, but I like the idea of like just do this, and not that it'll solve everything, but it'll remind you how today is a day. Like today is just a day, and I will have ups and I will have downs, and I have a whole 25 of them so far of ups and downs and neutrals, you know, and it's more of like reminding yourself what type of day it is, not that it's your fault that it's that day. Like some days you're gonna have down days and some days you're gonna have up days, and it's random, right? It's random that I finished this today. It's random that like someone didn't hit me with their car today. Like it's random that things aren't just happening to me by themselves organically, or positive or negatively. It's random. Honestly, I think most fights with your relationships in your life are pretty random. Like when you think of the whole scope of life, obviously if you do something dumb, but like usually when you fight about something that like happened a while ago or was happenstance to happen at all, and I don't know. I think I'll continue thinking about that. Maybe there's something there to say like, if I'm having this feeling this day, watch day 25 or watch day 15 or do that thing that you like. Like I usually, one of my tools in my tool belt is go for a walk, and with kids it's really hard because they like never want to go for a walk, and it's not really like relaxing when we do and whatever. So they kind of took that one away from me. But normally I'd go for a walk. Sometimes I would exercise. Sometimes I would have a beer. Sometimes I would watch a show I like. Sometimes I would just go to sleep. Sometimes like the best thing you do is just go to bed. Like not like your brain is tired and upset, and there isn't much you can do to like tell it to shut up at this point. Like I've definitely been there before. Where it's like I literally know you're being so outrageously mean and exaggeratory about everything, and I'm just gonna like boot you back up. I'm gonna turn you off and turn you back on, and just remind you that like I'm in control here, not you. You know, I think there's a lot of that. You know, it thinks, the voice in your head thinks it's in control, and it's not. You know, if you let it, it will be. But don't let it. You know, don't let it. So yeah, I gotta think about that more. I will watch day 25 when I'm feeling down, and maybe I'll watch a day 23 or 4 when I'm feeling up, you know, and be reminded how today's a day, you know. I'm gonna have good days, I'm gonna have bad days. Hopefully have a lot of them coming, you know. I hope I have tens of thousands of them coming still, you know. That's weird to think about, that like that many days. So if I have 365, hopefully I live for another like, I don't know, 50 years, 60 years if I'm lucky. 60, 50, let's do 50 years, so I'm 80. You know, and Amazon isn't like delivering like organs for you at that point. That would be 50,000. That's like 15,000 more days, 20,000 more days, give or take, you know, somewhere around there. 17,000 more days. 17,000 more days, I'm going to feel bad, neutral, or good, depending if I got my gold star that day. I think there's something there. I think that's helping me put some things in perspective about my life and about how to understand the day and not feel too much of any way, you know? I mean, I think it's good to feel good, but I think if anything, I'm trying to not feel so bad when I'm stuck, you know? It's hard. It's hard not to feel stuck. Your brain won't let you. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll find out one day that like if the great people that like achieve these great things, like the Olympians and the billionaires who are not the self-made ones, you know, if they either A, don't have that voice in their head, which, you know, because they're sociopaths or whatever, or B, what they do to attack it. Because I feel like I've read so many self-help books and so much out there, and I keep going back to like I don't think anyone ever explains the middle of the story, like what actually their life was like during that part, you know, because it's easy to tell it, and I guess that's why, because I'm telling you my story when I have the gold star, when I have the coat, the boat, and the bank account and everything. It's not, you don't talk about it when it sucks. I mean, that's kind of the point of this podcast thing that I'm doing, is like I'm trying to tell the middle of the story. I'm trying to like explain that it wasn't always fun, and I felt very stuck a lot. And when I felt stuck, I felt very stuck. Like it was a very real feeling. It wasn't like something that happened and and then I got through it in the same sentence. Like I just spent the last 72 hours feeling pretty down about myself. I would say the last maybe the last 5 or 6 days, actually, feeling pretty bad about myself when I really think about it. And now I feel over it. Yeah. Well, this was helpful to me to think more clearly about my average day. I've been really trying hard to make my average day a really good day. And I think there's something to this decision tree thing. I think there's something to this where it's like, how do I remind myself? I don't know about the good days, but especially the neutral or bad days, that if I had a gold star today, I would feel really good. And that's all that's stopping me from feeling good about myself in my life, is my today's gold star, for one. And for two, that day is coming. You know, don't let your voice in your head prevent it from coming. You know, like the more you judge yourself about not having the gold star, the less you're likely to have it. You know, I do think that is a quality of great people, is they do not have that. I think they don't judge themselves themselves, or they usually have like a grandiose sense of what they can accomplish, and that helps them because they keep pushing, like they have these big ideas and they keep pushing them. They don't judge themselves like very much along the way, or is more than the average person. I would say they might do it the same amount, but they definitely don't do it more. I'll argue that they don't judge themselves as hardly as everyone else, or they really really work on it. And I'm really working on it, so hopefully I'll get there. But yeah, this was good to talk through it. I have the best ones when I have a breakthrough on my gold star, my project, because it's like the rubber band. I feel like life works that way. Like there's a rubber band, and you pull on it, you pull on it, you pull on it, and there's a release. Like I feel like every relationship has a rubber band to it, like a kind of like a cadence to it. I feel like yourself, like your life, your like everything. I feel like everything has this like rubber band, like where it's like there needs to be some sort of tension. It needs to be a little uncomfortable. And then there's a release. But if there's never uncomfortableness, there's never a release. And if there's a release, then there must be an uncomfortableness afterwards. Like that's like our like as humans, like we're looking for the release all day. We're looking for how to like make our lives better. And that's the tension. And then there's a release when we get it. And then we needed to do it again. Like we kind of just we live our lives that way, kind of in this like happy. Okay, let's try. I did something. Let's try. So I don't know if I can get better when I'm trying at not feeling like it's hard, and that I'm bad. I think that's what I'm working on, obviously, but it's hard. It's so involuntary. Your brain just does it automatically. It's so frustrating. So okay, well, I'm gonna wrap this up. So, thank you every day, helping me grow, helping me see through the trees. Honestly, I'm seeing more clearly how I spend each day of my life. I shouldn't say how I'm feeling throughout each day of my life. I think very clearly it's becoming evident that like this is helpful for me to, guide and listen to the voice in my head in a more intelligent way and yell back at it, and I need to hold on to this gold star. Maybe I should like print off this map and hang it somewhere and just remind myself that like, this is doable, like it's okay. You're being stuck means it's hard, and it means you're trying, and it means it's coming. Losing belief I think is the hard part, and letting yourself lose belief is the hard part. So okay, well, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm sure I'll be frustrated I don't have a gold star that day, so